Good evening and welcome to Prime of Midlife. Look at me, standing up and everything. This evening I wanted to talk about the upcoming pay reviews. Now it says here, this is me with the laptop down in the corner as usual, that the independent public sector pay review bodies are due to report in the coming weeks on the level of increases for workers. And that's including employees in health, schools and prisons. But Mr Clark, the Treasury Minister in charge of the pay review body, said there was no automatic link between inflation and pay setting. That would be the cat rolling about in the catnip and hitting things and stuff. So yeah, I want to just, I have a couple of questions about that, but what a day. As you can see, I'm feeling better. So I'm up and I'm about, and I've moved the camera a bit closer, just so that hopefully the sound's a bit better, because I don't think the microphone thing worked. So there I was, feeling all good for myself, and I thought, oh, I've got ribs in the fridge, I'll put the ribs in the oven, I'll do that, I'll be really good to myself. I have ended up wearing them. I mean, look, so pleased with myself, down at my waist as well, they're on my jeans, the sauce went everywhere. So I was like, do I go and get changed? And I was like, nope, you'll all understand. Do you know when you have your ribs and you're so excited and you go like that and they're ouchy and they're hot and you just drop them and end up wearing them? Yeah, welcome to my Sunday night. So I'm going to put this video out tomorrow morning. I'm going to schedule it for tomorrow morning because I'm back at work tomorrow. My colleague Mandy has her daughter up for the week. She's off on holiday, so we are verboten, we're not speaking to her. She's going to go and do a whole family thing with her daughter for the whole week. So I am going to go in tomorrow and just work the week without her. However will I cope? So anyway, this independent public pay sector review thing, this is what gave the NHS 3% after COVID. This is these people. And I don't think I think someone suggested there was something in the media that it's possibly they're saying up to 4%. Now, this isn't just the nurses we're talking about. This is your, yes, your health people, but also your schools and your prisons. So I had a bit look, and I went onto the Scottish Prison Service website, and an operations prison officer in Grampian. Now, an operations prison officer is one who does like the custody suite, the visitor centre, etc. Their starting salary, advertised tonight, which is the 26th of June 2022, their starting salary is 21,638. Okay, so that works out roughly about £11 an hour. The accommodation officers, who are the ones who are in the thick of it all the time, their starting salary is about 6,000 more, £27,010. A trainee bus driver with Stagecoach is getting offered £12.31 an hour. Now, I know what I would be choosing if I was a young lad, and it certainly would have been going into a prison where I could get into all sorts of bother compared to driving a bus. And teachers are starting at 28k. Now, remembering that teachers have to have a degree. This was secondary teachers, or like high school teachers. This was not primary teachers. So they've got to have a degree. So they're coming out with student loans, the majority of them. And they're starting at 28,000. Again, trainee bus driver, anyone? There's so many of these jobs now where the government's saying, oh, we can't have a pay rise because, you know, it's going to do inflation. What happens? That hurts the sore hand. What happens when people stop applying for these jobs? What happens when people stop wanting to be nurses or teachers or prison officers or policemen? I mean, seemingly the dropout rate of the police is absolutely ridiculous. Patrick was saying he was watching one of those, you know, police lights actions or police interceptors or whatever it was. And this policewoman was on a call out and she had to literally like sit on someone as they were kicking and screaming and giving it large about how they were innocent and all that. I mean, she had a hell of a time. And she said, she's first shift and last shift, I'm done. She's like, I'm not doing this. Why would you? Especially when, if anything happens, you've got people like, I mean, don't even start me on London and Mayor Khan with how little he respects the police, helps the police or whatever. He's much more interested in just shutting all the roads and having everyone walking and cycling. Meanwhile, everyone's getting stabbed in London. I mean, really, just ridiculous. So what happens when when nobody applies for these jobs? Because why would you? Why would you when you can go and become a bus driver? You can go and become a train driver, even at the train driver's rates now. Which, caveat here, that's not what the strikes are about. The strikes are about the other staff in the railroads. Not the drivers, it's the other staff. Just so we've got that clear. But I think the government's going to have to realise that people are going to stop applying for these jobs. And, this old saying of Labour isn't working when the Tories got in after the winter of discontent or whatever, summer of discontent, I don't know. But when there was all the strikes and stuff in the 70s. What happens when that's gone? It's the Tories that's doing it. But they're alright, with their subsidised canteens and their, accommodation. If they get caught somewhere because of a train strike, they're alright. Their wives that are non-doms and, earning millions through shares in sometimes very suspect companies. The friendly barman that suddenly becomes a PPE contractor. Really? And yet they want us to put our lives on the line, whether it's in the health, whether it's in the prisons. And I mean, let's be sensible here. Schools nowadays are not safe for teachers. Teachers are getting assaulted so often, and they're not allowed to do anything. There was a report just recently saying some mother was saying, my child should not be isolated, he should not be put in a room on his own, he should be, nurtured and looked after. I'm sorry, if he's pinned the teacher against the wall, what is she going to do? And I mean, best of all in the world, in some of these high schools, these young lads are like 6 foot something and weighing however many, bigger than me. And if he's got a teacher by the neck against the wall, what are we supposed to do? Sorry son, would you please not do that again? It's not really a nice thing to do. By which time the teacher's going home with bruise marks round her throat. And you wonder why people don't want to be teachers. I think this government's got a lot to answer for. And Mr Clark may say that wage rises should not necessarily keep up with inflation. Maybe they shouldn't necessarily keep up with the requirements of the job. And I think a lot of these jobs, the requirements need to be looked at. See, I've gone off on one again. What can I say? So there you go. So this will be out Monday morning when I'm at work. Hope you have a good day. See you later.